we'd like to take a moment to thank our sponsors for this evening's show: Picaro Pan, a Colombian restaurant and bakery at 1520 College Point Boulevard in College Point, New York, and Mari's Beauty Salon at 1828 College Point Boulevard in College Point, New York. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Angels, Fairies, and Witches. I'm Laura.
And I'm Michelle. So the last couple of weeks we've been doing some fun summer spells. We did a love spell. Last week we did a Turn Back the Hands of Time youth serum. And this evening, towards the end of the show, we're going to do a money spell. Where we left off last time, we were talking about manifestations. What are manifestations? It's when you make declarative statements, good or bad. I am. Let's give some examples.
I am financially stable.
Well, yes, but let's give some bad examples. Things people say every day. The point is, I don't think you realize how powerful your words are.
I am tired. I am miserable.
I'm sick.
Right. Those are manifestations that you don't want to. You don't want to use those words, and you don't want to feel that energy.
Right. And, you know, a lot of people, it's just very common. I have a friend in particular at my job who has a baby. Now he's about almost 2 years old. So it's common. You know, the kid's not sleeping through the night. It really should be at 2. But anyway, it's common to, hey, how's your day? How's your night? I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I can't stay awake. These are common things people say. Really try not to watch your words and watch your thoughts. Okay, what we've been trying to talk here about, and we have some recommended reading material after, and we'll get to the money spell. Like I said about these spells I've been teaching you, they will work 100%, but only if you believe they will. Okay, if you make these spells, these potions, and you know it's going to bring love, health, money, abundance, it 1000% will, okay? If you do it and think, oh, but this will never work, then it's not going to. So you know what we're saying here?
A nice example of a manifestation that I have talked about with people for the longest time is your manifestation of the ham and cheese sandwich.
Oh, this is a good one.
This is a good one.
Okay. When we were, as we like to say, dumbassing ourselves through all the spirituality early on, we started reading things like, you remember The Secret was very popular years ago, and there were some Wayne Dyer books, and we thought, okay, so, it always suggests you start simple. Like manifest for a parking spot. Start with the simple things.
That's what we started out with. We started manifesting parking.
Mm-hmm. Got it every time. So one day I was at work and I hadn't had breakfast and I was really hungry. Now our facility is a kosher facility and I have a staff of 4 girls and one of them happens to be an Orthodox Jew. But here's why I bring this up. So I was sitting at my desk and I thought, I'm hungry. I'm really hungry. I would love a sandwich. And I must have put it out there with such force, but I was objective. I wasn't in love with the sandwich. The sandwich was not going to bring me happiness and joy.
It wasn't coming from anybody in particular.
Right. I just wanted a sandwich. No strings attached. So I must have gone upstairs to do something, and I came back not 10 minutes later, when the girl on my staff, who's the Orthodox Jew, comes in with a sandwich wrapped in, deli wax paper. And she said, do you want this? And I said, what is it? And she said, well, one of the nurse's aides gave it to me, but it's ham and cheese, and I'm kosher, so I can't eat it. And I immediately grabbed the sandwich and really enjoyed it. And I was halfway through when I realized I just manifested a ham and cheese sandwich from an Orthodox Jew at a kosher facility. And it took me less than 15 minutes.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. So but excellent example. That's what were some of our other interesting manifestations? If you want to manifest for great love, or, maybe you want a baby, or maybe you want plenty of money. Until you can really get your energy and your mindset to believe that you can do this and you are worthy of receiving this, it's not going to succeed, which is why I suggest you start out
Very
small
simple,
potatoes.
very basic.
Manifest for a
Absolutely.
small potato. See what happens there. I don't know. I'm not counting, but how many glasses of water is that?
That's 3.
Okay.
But you drank half of the other 2.
I had
so
that clove in my mouth.
let's see. But the idea is the more emotion and desire that you put, true desire that you put into that that manifestation, they become very, very powerful. Dr. Wayne Dyer, in his Wishes Fulfilled book and his Wishes Fulfilled seminar, this man was diagnosed with leukemia.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't get medical treatment for it. He manifested the disease to go away.
Saying to himself every day, in the face of reports that it was terminal and I am well, I am healthy, he turned himself off to all negative conversation about it. You know, I want to say one thing as we get into this. We're talking about phraseology, okay? It's not that the universe is dumb and they can't make the distinction. But what you have to understand is if you say I am, whatever follows that, you're shooting that out to the universe powerfully, okay? If you say, I want a boyfriend, I wish I had more money, the universe's interpretation of that is, okay, so we're going to give you more experiences so that you can keep wanting a boyfriend.
Right.
And we're going to give you more experiences that you can keep wishing you had more money. You know, it reminds me of that sort of like new age, I forget what it was called in the 70s. Well, that's more your era. You know, it had like a couple of letters. So, it was some movement, some new age movement. Anyway, you know, you stand in front of a mirror every day saying, I love you. I love you. You're beautiful. And you feel like a fool. But I think that's what they were talking about. Getting it, changing your mindset. Don't say I want and don't say I wish.
Or
say I
need.
am or I have.
Right. Don't say I need.
No, not I
I
need.
want, I wish, because
You're always going to be needing.
you're always going to be needing. That's what
Yeah.
how the universe interprets that statement. So it's very important to watch your wording when you do the manifestation.
And you know, when you go into work on Monday and somebody says, "Hey, how was your weekend?" You don't have to say, "I am well, I am happy, I am joyful." You look ridiculous. Just keep it in your head, okay? You could say, "But I had a great weekend." That's why I have a journal. I've showed this on other episodes where I've broken down into a few categories: spirituality, relationships. What's this one? Money and career, health, and well, now I believe we're finally out of the Mercury retrograde period.
Yes, we are.
Don't worry, it's coming back around in November. So you can do it during the second week of the Mercury retrograde, but you could do it anytime. Just take a couple of bullet topics: relationship, money, health, and then write down, this is private, this is for you only.
Career.
Career.
If you're not happy with your career or wish to do something different.
All right, so let's give a few examples. I am financially abundant.
Oh, that's me. I am financially stable. That was my...
Right, see there, she's stable, but I'm abundant.
Yeah.
Pick your words, be creative.
Right.
Even if it seems outlandish, just do it. It's
I am
between you
able-
and the universe.
I am able to pay my rent and my bills and still have money left over for fun and charity.
I am able to pay my bills easily and still have money left over for fun and charity.
There you go.
So it is a good idea if you say these things in the morning, before your day gets started, and carry these thoughts. Again, you don't have to broadcast. Carry these thoughts with you throughout the day. And when you're going to bed at night, one of the things that Dr. Wayne Dyer always says is spend the last 5 minutes before you go to bed visualizing, picturing. Here in the morning you're saying that you have plenty of money. And in the evening, you're visualizing, oh, I'm going to take my friend on a cruise. My husband and I are going to travel to Italy. I'm going to buy that new couch, at Raymore and Flanagan. Picture it, because what happens is...
It's imprinted on your mind, and those
Right.
last 5 minutes before you fall asleep, anything that you're thinking about gets imprinted on
He
your
likes
mind.
to say your brain will then marinate for 7-8 hours. So put some good stuff in there. Picture the wildest, most fun, craziest thing. If you want to be thinner, picture yourself thinner. If you were never thin, then you're really going to have to try to picture how you're going to look. If you were thin, and after a couple of kids and some surgeries, I know I shouldn't be rocking that excuse. My boys are teenagers, but picture yourself thin. Okay.
We had Dr. Wayne Dyer, Wishes Fulfilled, that we recommended for manifesting. Another good one is Ask and It Is Given by Esther and Jerry Hicks. We also recommended The Secret, which has been around forever.
And that, I think, was also in movie form.
Right, by Rhonda Byrne. And also Doreen Virtue, who's one of our favorite, Dr. Doreen Virtue. She has written a book on divine magic, which is all about manifesting and mindsets. So.
Well, see, magic has always kind of gotten either cartoonish, like the clean the house, do that, or like black magic, dark magic, and therefore this is why witches get such a bad reputation. But all magic is knowing how to control. You can only control the elements of your life. Down the road we'll show you how you can control certain elements of weather. That takes a little practice. But you can control everything about your own life. You came from the divine. There's something in the Bible, and if I burst into flames, it's because I probably shouldn't be sitting here quoting the Bible. I don't know, like Jesus said something like you are all gods.
Right.
You're not just a part of God, you are gods. That's a little heavy. So all I want to say, all you got to do is remember back. Remember when you were perfect health, and say it, feel it, repeat it, believe it.
It's Doreen says that everything is mental that we do. Everything is mental. So if you have
I've always thought Laura was mental.
So if you have a positive mental mindset, which is what Doreen is asking us to have, if you keep that positivity going in everything you do and everything you think and everything you say, you can't go wrong. You're going to draw nothing but positive back.
And it's hard. It's easy. We're giving you the words and the how-tos, but don't let regular life get in the way, okay? Don't be on this great spiritual path and you're manifesting ham and cheese sandwiches from a Jew and all this other stuff, and you're rocked by, a divorce or a health crisis because, things happen in life. So it's hard. Once you take a hit and have a little setback, let's get back on that horse again. So I'm now going to show us a money spell, okay? This is called the bay leaf money spell. Now, travel size mortar and pestle. The cautionary word for this, like we've been talking, is you must believe that you're worthy to receive all this. If you don't believe it at first, it's okay. Just keep practicing till you really believe. It's been said like the universe is like the ocean. There's so much abundance out there, and just because you're asking for a lot of stuff doesn't mean she's going to get shortchanged. Everybody can have as much abundance, and you are worthy. What's that thing where manifestations aren't the result? It's not like God scorecards. Okay, well, I helped this little old lady across the street, so therefore I'm entitled to get something good. If your thoughts are positive, if your energy is positive, it's just going to come to you automatically. Like I said in another episode, unless I said it in this episode and I'm getting forgetful.
Nah.
You go to a catalog that you get at home, and you're casual. You're not intense. You're not crazy. And you're flipping through saying, ooh, I'd like those pair of shoes. Oh, I'd like that jacket. So you place the order, and what do? You wait. You know it's coming. You don't have to keep calling the company 5 times a day. Did you get the order? Did you get the order? Is it on the way? No. So in that respect, when we do this spell, put it out to the universe and know it's coming your way.
Oh, and have patience.
Anybody out there know sign language? I have a deaf patient at the nursing home, and he has taught me some of the funnest curse words. So look this up, Laura. Okay. 2 ingredients. That's all this is going to take. One is bay leaves. You can get the dried or the fresh. I think for this spell I'll use the dried. It does not matter, okay? And cinnamon, okay? So what you want to do is break up a little bit of the bay leaves. Why bay leaves? Bay leaves are known...
I was just going to ask that, why bay leaves?
Were you now?
Yes, I was.
There are a bunch of different ingredients known for prosperity, but bay leaves is one of the most popular. And actually, in the Wiccan holiday of Yule, which you people would know as Christmas or New Year's Eve, we burn bay leaves as a sign of prosperity in the coming year. And look here, folks, plain old cinnamon.
Now, why cinnamon?
Why cinnamon, you ask? Cinnamon is an accelerator, okay, which means we're going to be using leaves for prosperity and cinnamon to get this party started, okay? Again, any kind, ground. So as you're doing this, I would suggest, once again, if you can, consult a calendar or the internet. Start it on a new moon because you're going to manifest for these things in your life. So by the time the full moon comes, oh, and by the way, well, you'll see when I read this, it doesn't always show up the way you're expecting it, okay? You might not get the big Ed McMahon check. Does he still do that? Is he still alive? Okay. But you all know what I'm talking about. No one's showing up with the big check, and you might not hit the lottery numbers. But this can come in the form of an inheritance, a raise, a generous gift. Just be open to how the universe is going to give it to you.
Right. So maybe you have to make an emergency trip out of town, and you don't have anybody that can... You can't afford to like take your cats someplace to board them, so maybe somebody will donate their time. So that's the abundance.
Right,
of
it's not always monetary,
right,
but
not always
for this
monetary.
spell it is. I work alone when I do these things.
Sorry.
All right, we've got I'm using dried bay leaves. You can use dry or fresh, and some cinnamon. Okay, much like the angel sugar, you're going to go clockwise, and you're just going to say out loud or think abundant thoughts. Money, prosperity, abundance, able to pay bills, plenty of money left over, travel,
Charity.
new cars, charity. All right, so you want to get it into just crunchy, not a big deal. Now, I don't think because of my costuming that I'm going to be allowed to get up and walk over to my front door, so I'm just going to have to tell you this verbally. What you're going to do is go by your front door. If you live in an apartment building, try to do it when nobody's around. And you're just going to sprinkle a little of this. Somebody had asked me, should it be inside the door or outside? It really doesn't matter, okay? It's from the outside you're bringing it in, but then if it's on the inside, you're bringing it in even closer. Again, semantics, doesn't matter. So you're just going to take your little mixture, which smells really good.
It smells delicious.
Okay? Crush it up, and you're going to go left to right. It's what you want to bring in. If you were going to banish something, you go right to left. Left to right, okay? And this is what you're going to say, or something like it. Again, remember, all these spells, we're just showing you, I'm just showing you how I've always done it. Make it your own, or do it directly, okay? So as you're doing this, you're going to think, say, you can even sing it. Luscious green, these leaves of bay, I have bills I need to pay. Gather money and resources and send them my way. Grant me abundance in every way. I sprinkle this potion at the foot of my door, and in accordance with ancient lore, I will grow in prosperity as never before.
Wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, so why don't we do a few more of the I ams and the secret.
Okay, so like we said, we recommended some books. Ask and it is given. It's really learning how to phrase and manifest what you need. So the key, like we said, is to always phrase it in a positive manner, not a I need or a I want.
Or
but
I wish I had.
wish, right. But
Start small. Let's show them what we had done. You know, you talk about the parking spaces. I mean, for God's sakes, it's Queens. You know, parking is always at a premium. Whether we're going to the beach or grocery shop, you know, we actually do things separate. Okay?
yes, we do.
Beach we usually do together, but you know.
you want to give them the universe enough time to orchestrate that parking spot for you. And when you get to your destination, if the spot isn't where you want it to be immediately, you know, drive around the block a couple times, because chances are they're orchestrating someone to come out and get in their car and move away. And I have to tell you that I haven't had a problem with parking in years.
I know.
Because
and if it's a spot that you frequent, like when we go to the beach, between, is it 98 and 97?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we know exactly what it looks like. We know what the homes look like. So we can actually visualize right in front of that home with the red door.
Right.
And it's always there.
Where we want to park.
Once in a while, if we're a block or two from the beach, and we'll look at each other and say, did you remember to manifest? Oh, no, me neither. So in that case, sometimes the spot isn't there, but again, drive around the block within a minute or two, somebody comes out, moves the car, and the spot is yours. These manifestations are sort of a way of claiming something. And again, don't have guilt. Just because I'm claiming that rock star parking at the beach doesn't mean you can't have something equally great. I mean, I'll tell you, the spot that we like by the beach is not in shade. So maybe you want a spot on an adjoining block that's under a tree, so when you come out and get in your car, it's not 5,000 degrees like it is here.
The key is to start simple, because once you start manifesting for a parking spot, and that parking spot happens, and one day, and then the next, and the next, then you're going to get a little
confident,
more confident, and have that powerful feeling that, hey, I've manifested a parking spot, so why don't I work on something a little more difficult now that I've got that mastered? That's the whole key. It's like anything that you're trying to learn. You know, start simple, start slow. And
you know, I was on this kick one time that I was making my own clothing instead of buying them at the costume store, and I wanted a certain black fabric. I could visualize in my head exactly what I wanted. So I went down to, I think I was in Ridgewood, and there's a bunch of fabric stores, and I declared it was mine. There is a piece of fabric, it looks like this, and I want it at a great price. So I went to the fabric store, and I saw tons of fabric, but it wasn't the one I wanted. But I didn't give up. I just thought, okay, you know, keep looking. You haven't seen the whole store. Well, the last row, all the way in the back of this last store, had fabric that I guess people didn't really want anymore. And lo and behold, was practically identical. Not only the fabric I wanted, but marked down to like 80% off. So this is the way the universe can work. Years ago, I manifested, okay, well, oh rats, only 2 minutes to tell you this quick story. I was in the mood for a relationship, so I manifested for a man. I didn't put a name to it. I said I wanted him kind.
After she learned her lesson the hard way by putting a name to it.
Oh, look who's tapping. Look who's tapping.
Oh.
Anyway, I manifested this warm and kind and gentle man who was employed. Because I was divorced with kids, I wanted him to also be a father and have kids. I mean, what I put out to the universe wouldn't seem like, you know, would actually be possible. Well, sure enough, I got exactly what I wanted. I mean, word for word for word, 3 months later. But the cautionary thing about that is there were things I forgot to say. I said I wanted him strong, emotionally. He wasn't. Well, I know he's probably watching this, but, you know. There were certain things I left out that, in hindsight, I should have put in the whole shebang. Because everything that I asked for came to me.
Yeah. So like we said before, watching your words.
Be specific. Be very specific. Not, I want a lot of money. And never, I want, I need, I wish.
Right. And don't ask for something by name. Don't ask for a person by name.
And another thing Wayne Dyer says is that it has to feel natural. You know, I said there's an ocean of abundance, but do you really want to go and ask for $1 million? let's start with parking first, okay? Your needs will always be met by the universe, and there will be abundance. These things take a little practice, so try to make it fun. Pick up any of these books. Oh, and tons more, I'm sure.
Yeah, and these are just 4 that really resonated with us, but there's plenty out there, and
use my little money accelerator spell. And then believe. That was the last part.
Yep.
Of what? Oh, wait, I thought you brought ask, believe, and receive.
No, ask and it is given. Divine
All right.
magic, the secret,
Well,
and wishes fulfilled. Wishes, believing.
not
absolutely
witches fulfilled.
believing.
Although.
Wishes. Wishes fulfilled.
All right, we're wrapping up this episode. Give us a call. Find us on not Facebook. Email. YouTube.
And email us at angelsfairieswitches@gmail.com. And please give us a call on the numbers listed if you have any other further questions.
Okay, so thank you.
Thank you for watching.
Watch us next week.
Be well.